Om Sarvadharmastapakatvam Sarvadharmasvarupakaha Acharyanam Mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya Te Namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Sri Ramakrishna in the midst of these very intimate devotees, Sri Vijay Krishna Goswami, Balaram Bose, Sri M, and a very few others. And the discussion is on the hardcore spirituality. Sri Ramakrishna is telling them that normally these bound souls, the people who are steeped in the worldliness, they cannot seek liberation because their minds are all the time fixed on woman and gold. The lust and greed, that is what is attracting them, is tempting them and getting them tied up in the fisherman's net, as if. And then Sri Ramakrishna told that you can only have any hope for liberation if you get the vision of God. Now, how can this vision of God be had? Vijay Krishna Goswami has asked him that why are we bound like this in the state of binding, in the state of total attachment? Why we cannot see God? And then Sri Ramakrishna says, this entire business is because of the ego. That Maya has created this egotism. Maya has created this I, me and mine concept in your mind, and that is preventing you from getting a vision of God. And then Sri Ramakrishna gave that very beautiful example of Sri Ram and Lakshman, just a distance of 2.5 cubits, just a few feet away from each other. But Lakshman can't see Ram, his beloved brother. Why? Sita is in between. And Sri Ramakrishna says, Maya is the Sita. She is preventing Lakshman to have the vision of Rama, to have the darshan of Rama, who is walking just a few feet ahead. Unless and until Maya makes the way, unless and until Sita Mai turns a bit right or to the left, Lakshman can't see Sri Ram. So that is the example that Sri Ramakrishna had given to these devotees. And then he said, all this is because of the upadhis. Now, upadhi is nothing but the things we pick up on our journey. Things we start picking up right from our childhood. We collect this, we collect that, all these upadhis, all these adjuncts that we keep on collecting, and each upadhi make us behave in certain manner. I am so and so, that is a upadhi. I am a son of such and such a big person, that is an upadhi. I have studied so much, that is an upadhi. I am a postgraduate, I am a doctorate, I am a lawyer, I am a doctor. All these are upadhis that we keep on collecting, and the upadhis, they manipulate our nature, they manipulate our innate simple behavior. Our behavior primarily is childlike. It is so simple. It is so humble. But with the upadhis that we keep on gathering on our journey, we change our mannerisms, we change our behavior, we change our tone of talking, and these upadhis, they create all the problems. And they are the kind of boosters for boosting our ego, for inflating our ego. I am so and so. The moment this attitude, feeling of I am so and so comes, that's it, my ego gets bloated. I have studied from this institute, and that gets my ego bloated. I am such a rich person, my ego has inflated 100 times. My properties, my collections, and all this me and mine, all these upadhis we keep on collecting, and that is we are heading towards our doom then. And that's the reason we can't have a vision of God with all this bloated and inflated ego. And then Sri Ramakrishna had told us that one can get rid of the ego only one attains true knowledge. Now, on attaining knowledge, one goes into samadhi. When one goes into samadhi, ego is totally shattered. And now today in this particular session, Sri Ramakrishna is again going to revise his teaching of the 7 planes. How the mind can be taken to the 7th plane and reach that ultimate stage of samadhi. After getting the samadhi, the ego absolutely gets destroyed. And that is the time when one gets the vision of God, and then everything changes. Then the path is so clear for us. All upadhis, they fly away. So Sri Ramakrishna is now today once again teaching us that great fundamentals of the 7 planes. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, one can get rid of ego after attainment of knowledge. On attaining knowledge, one goes into samadhi and the ego disappears. But it is extremely difficult to obtain this knowledge. It is not an easy process. To get the mind beyond the 7th plane, beyond the Sahasrara, is extremely difficult, Sri Ramakrishna says. It is said in the Vedas that a man experiences samadhi when his mind ascends to the 7th plane, to the Sahasrara, from this Ajna Chakra, from the 6th plane, when the mind transcends to the 7th plane. That is samadhi. The ego can disappear only when one goes into samadhi. Where does the mind of a man ordinarily dwell? Sri Ramakrishna is now explaining this entire process again. How the journey of mind from the lowest plane of Mooladhara. He says, under ordinary circumstances, for the normal beings, the mind is always in the lower 3 planes. The Mooladhara, the Swadhisthana, and the Manipura Chakra. Within these 3 planes, the mind oscillates, and till the time mind oscillates on these 3 lower planes, its entire focus is lust and greed. Where does the mind of a man ordinarily dwell? In the first 3 planes, in the first 3 chakras, the Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipura Chakra. These are at the organs of evacuation and generation and at the navel. These 3 spots, the organ of evacuation, the organ of generation or reproduction, and the navel. These are the 3 sites where these 3 chakras are located. Then the mind is immersed only in worldliness and attached to woman and gold and fixed on lust and greed. A man sees the light of God when his mind dwells in the 4th plane of anahata, when the mind rises above to the level of heart, to the anahata chakra. That is the time when the person sees the first hope of enlightenment. That is where he sees the divine light for the very first time. A man sees the light of God when his mind dwells in the plane of heart. He sees the light and exclaims, "Oh, what it is!" This is the first experience for the man. First experience of transcending beyond the worldliness. Now it is getting slowly into the plane of divinity. That enlightenment process has now started, and man is wonderstruck to get that experience, to see that light, and nothing but exclamation, what is this? What is this? I was not at all aware there can be such a wonderful thing that I will ever experience. All this time, that mind, that person was only limited to the experiences of lust and greed. Now something new has come up. Something new which is far, far above the lust and greed. Something which is far beyond the grasp of woman and gold. That is totally new for him. And he just exclaims, "Ah, what is this?" The next plane is at the throat, to the Vishuddha chakra. Now having mind coming to the plane of throat, coming to the Vishuddha chakra, there is still more wonderful experience. Now it is not just the light. That when the mind dwells there, he likes to hear and talk only of God. Now is the time. Now the mind has come here. All our vocal cords are fixed in this throat, in this plane of throat. And with the vocal cords in the plane of throat, we want to talk nothing but God. All the useless worldly talk is a history now. I don't want to do any rumor mongering. I don't want to listen to any gossips. I want to talk about anything, anybody, any person behind his or her back. Now I want to talk only of God. I want to chant the name of God. Now I have got that love for the name of the Lord. I've got that attachment to sing the glories of the God. Now my heart, my mind is at this stage of Vishuddha. And that's why this chakra is called as Vishuddha, the purest of the pure planes. Now, when the mind ascends to the next plane, now here it is all godly talk. I won't talk anything worldly. I won't talk anything from materialistic point of view. It is only the divine talk. Now from here, when the mind goes to the forehead, the Ajna chakra or Ajna chakra as some people pronounce it. When the mind goes to the level of forehead, what happens between the eyebrows? He sees the form of Satchidānanda. Now, it is a Saguna Satchidānanda Brahman. The form, Satchidānanda with form, is now visible, very much visible over here. When the mind comes here, it is between the eyebrows. So, there has to be a vision of something. Then a person gets for the first time. Till here we don't get vision and all. Till here it is only talk and singing and chanting. But when the mind comes here, it is actual vision of the Saguna Brahma. Brahman with form. Then we start seeing our chosen deity. Then we start seeing the forms of our gods and goddesses. He sees the form of Satchidānanda and desires to touch and embrace that form. I see my mother and I want to just embrace my mother, my beloved mother who loves me so much, who is taking care of me, who has been taking care of me for all these lives. Now I can see my mother in that form. I want to go and touch her, but I cannot touch her. There is still some kind of a barrier between me and my mother. I can see her. I can experience, oh, she's my mother. I can experience, he's my friend. I can experience, he or she is my spouse. I can experience, he or she is my father or mother. But I cannot go near that form. There is still a barrier. And Sri Ramakrishna says, but it is unable to go and touch the deity, to touch the chosen deity. It is like the light in the lantern. You can see the light, but you cannot touch the light. Even if you wish, I want to go and touch that flame, let me experience how that warmth of the flame feels. You cannot touch the flame because there is a barrier of the glass covering, a glass pane is protecting that flame. You cannot touch the flame. You feel as if you were touching the light, but in reality, you are not. You are only, your finger can only go till the lamp shade, till that glass pane. You cannot touch, but you can see. You can get that immense pleasure. You can get that immense joy. You can get that immense bliss of having found your beloved. You can get that immense bliss having found your divine mother or your father. When the mind reaches the seventh plane, till here, ego is still there. The barrier is still there. But when Sri Ramakrishna says, when the mind reaches the Sahasrara, the ego vanishes. All that, the flame goes, the glass pane goes, there is nothing but warmth that is to be felt. You cannot see anything because now you have attained a state which is beyond the name of form. You have attained a state which is beyond any description. And Sri Ramakrishna says, when the mind reaches the seventh plane, then the ego vanishes entirely and the man gets into samadhi. So that is the process Sri Ramakrishna says. How the ego finally gets eliminated. But then Sri Ramakrishna has told us, it is extremely difficult. It is extremely difficult to eliminate the ego. But that doesn't mean that we should stop our efforts. We should stop our spiritual practice only at the Ajna Chakra. Let us go beyond. Let us go beyond the Ajna Chakra, reach Sahasrara, at least make an effort and get into that state of Mukta Jiva, the ever-free soul. And then there is no danger. Having attained that, then there is absolutely no danger. So the process, once again, Sri Ramakrishna has refreshed for us that how the mind travels from the bottommost three chakras, comes to the level of heart, comes to the level of throat, comes to the level of forehead between the eyebrows, and finally the uppermost part of the seventh plane, the Sahasrara. So that way Sri Ramakrishna is refreshing our knowledge, refreshing our learnings of what he has taught to us earlier also. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.